New to Zone Infraction / that Mediocre Sports Show. I am the star. This is my
And I am the moon.
That's the God. You're lucky he showed that one and not the
It's like I've got this giant bulbous head,
You
so
don't.
it's like
You wouldn't be bald.
Holy smokes. Is
If
it made
you-
of cheese?
If
No.
you had a normal sized head, you wouldn't have been bald.
Good. That's true. I would have had my hair could have went right to the center
Just
where...
like mine.
Yeah.
Tiny
Okay,
my head
so
is.
we're going to talk about a topic called, and we hinted at it in the last show previous, teams that will never win a title again. Now, we're not saying teams that have never won a title. A lot of these teams have won titles, but they will never win again. Never.
Never.
I am decreeing it. Never, ever, unless they change a lot of rules.
Or they change cities.
Or they change cities. Oh, yes. There's one team I believe that could again if they just change cities.
And what team would that be?
That would be the Miami Marlins. I don't think the Miami Marlins are ever going to win another title. I know they have two, but they're never going to win again. They're just
My
not.
gosh, why,
they don't
Randy?
support.
Why, Randy?
First off,
Why?
nobody supports that team. The stands are almost completely empty. They built them a new stadium. Nobody goes to it. It's got the ugliest center field
Wait, is it brand
diorama
new?
out there. It's only maybe less than 10 years old.
So they can't leave.
They can't, well, they could leave. It's just going to leave an empty stadium in Miami. But it's already empty. I mean, they're playing games there and nobody goes to watch. So the Miami Marlins are never going to win another title. They're always a low-budget team. They don't spend a lot of money on their players. Derek Jeter, who now became their GM, gave away all their good players.
Okay, well, let's move on. What's another team?
So we're going to stick with baseball.
Baseball.
Tampa Bay Rays. We'll stick in Florida. The Tampa Bay Rays are never, ever going to win a title. They're just not. Nobody wants to play for them. When they gave away their best player in David Price. When they did have the good players like Longoria and some of those guys,
You are so
they
informative.
got so close, but they just never could get over the top. And I think that was their best shot. That was their best shot maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
They're still a pretty decent team, but they will never, ever win a title. Sorry, it's just never going to happen. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay.
Milwaukee Brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers. They're never going to win. No, whenever you hear about free agents, where do they want to go? Not Milwaukee. They don't want to go to the
You would
Brewers.
think that
I
you-
like the Brewers. I love the logo. I love the guy that slides down the thing after every home run. I just think that's funny.
That'd be a great job.
It would be a great job. Just every time a home run's hit, you get to slide down a slide.
You know what
Come
I'm
on, that'd
thinking
be fun.
quickly, though? I'm wondering.
But the Brewers will never win another title.
And you said that nobody wants to go there. I would think with the title Brewers, that means beer, you would think you could get a lot of people to go there.
It's like, they just don't.
They just
It's like, I mean, Ryan Braun, but remember, Prince Fielder was a star there, and then he went somewhere else. So, I mean, you know, and then Ryan Braun, of course, he had the whole problem with the performance-enhancing drugs and all that other stuff.
No.
Yeah, the PEDs, where he said, I didn't do it, and then he got busted, and he did do
I
it.
didn't know Prince played baseball.
He did. Prince Fielder, yes. He played baseball. If Prince played, he'd play for the Twins.
Yeah, he would have. I got one for you. How about the Colorado Rockies?
Colorado Rockies will never win a title. You know
Never.
why?
Never.
Can't get pitching.
Well,
We will
the
never win a
ball
title,
seems to
and
go up.
the Mumforts will not spend the money to get his pitching anymore. They think they can build it in-house. The problem is, it's like all these kids come here, as soon as they have one home run that's just kind of a flick of the bat and it goes over the wall, they get demoralized because it's like, oh, well, it's true what they say, every ball goes out in Coors Field. It's not the case. With the humidor thing that they have, the balls don't... The home runs that used to be hit when we had the Blake Street Bombers,
I like
we
those guys.
don't hit that many home runs anymore.
So you're saying it? See, I always
But-
thought you couldn't pitch here. I always thought you can't pitch here.
Well, they also say that like a sinker ball, a curve ball, balls that need movement, they don't dip as much
That's why I said they go.
yeah. It's like they don't dip as much. So you don't get a lot of movement on a curve ball or a slider. So the ball stays, instead of doing maybe this, it'll go, and it doesn't have the movement that it's supposed to. So you have to be a straight up fastball pitcher with pinpoint accuracy and throw it by these guys. Because if you're a curveball pitcher, somebody like that, the ball's probably going to hang up a little bit in the lighter air. So the Rockies, they're just never going to win. Also because the ownership just doesn't they seem more like they want to make a profit than they want to win. And I hate owners like that. I hate owners that would rather make money than win.
Seattle
That's why I
Mariners.
loved Steinbrenner. Because Steinbrenner, he would spend every penny if it guaranteed him a title.
Oh, sure he would. And I think they still do. The Mariners.
The Mariners will never win.
Never win it.
They'll never win. I mean, I loved when they had like Randy Johnson and Edgar Martinez and guys like that.
Ken Griffey
Jr. The sweetest swing in baseball history.
That creepy.
Ken Griffey Jr. had a beautiful swing. I loved watching him swing the bat because it was so smooth. So smooth. That is the best swing in baseball.
Oakland Athletics.
No, now see, I believe the Oakland Athletics could because I think their analytics guy or their whatever they do now, the whole number crunchers guys. That's how the Astros won. They did it off of the metrics. They didn't go off of. They went off of situational baseball, and they've won a title.
Pittsburgh Pirates
will never win.
Never win a title.
Never win a title because when you hear about
another title,
they've won titles, but. When you hear about where do the free agents want to go, how many times do they ever say, man, I can't wait to get away from this team so I can go to Pittsburgh? I mean, McCutchen was their best player for a long time. He's now in San Francisco. So the Pirates, I don't think will ever win another title. I'm sorry. It's like, I think that the Pittsburgh, good thing you guys have the Pittsburgh Penguins because they've got 2 in a row, and they've won quite a few in their history.
Baseball, maybe the Padres, there's a few, but I don't
think... The Padres, man, it's like... San Diego seems like such a great place to live. Why wouldn't free agents want to go to the Padres? Maybe it has to do with the ownership. Maybe if the ownership group changed, the Padres might get it, but they never sign a lot of big free agents.
I don't think
they haven't had a lot of rock stars since Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, I don't think the Mets will ever win one either.
I don't either.
Another one.
Well,
No, they won't.
Their last title we discussed, 86 was their last title,
and they went within the last 15 years.
They did with DeGrom, and they had some good young pitching. But Harvey, their young pit Harvey was a part of that, and they traded him to Cincinnati because the Mets will.
Now I'm going to move you on to baseball or football or not football. Oh, by the way, in football, why are you laughing at me?
We're talking about hockey. I'm going to move you on to hockey. Or we're talking about baseball. I'm going to move you on to baseball.
Okay, well, I apologize. Sometimes
we're going to move on to minor league baseball. The Colorado Sky Sox will never win a AAA title.
The guy that does my teleprompter is typing crap that I don't get. But I'm going to say that it's the basketball.
Okay, we're going NBA.
That was hard.
Okay, we're talking about national.
But I want to say football real quick. I think everybody has a chance to actually win a title because football does it cool. However,
and we think the Cleveland Browns might be building something. So I mean, I know Cleveland's never won, but they might be building something that's special.
They've won. They've never won a Super Bowl.
They've never won a Super Bowl. They've never won in the Super. They do have NFL titles. They just don't have Super Bowls.
I think the Cleveland Browns are building towards a win this season. It's good.
I will predict right now that Cleveland will be 7-9. I'm not going to give them a winning record, but I think they're going to go from 0-16 to 7-9. That's how much I think they are going to make.
I'm going to get into basketball quickly because I know you want to do hockey. Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks will never win a title. Nobody wants to play for them. Name a player on their team right now. I can. Don't say Dominique Wilkins.
I was going to say Christian Laettner.
John Konkak. Dikembe
Pistol
Mutombo.
Pete. Okay, Brooklyn Nets.
Never win one.
No. Not another one.
Not another one.
We got to make that point. Charlotte Hornets will never win another one if they never won one.
No, but when they had Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, that's when they had their best chance.
The second LeBron James leaves the Cavaliers, they will never win another title. And I mean never.
But they are going to win this year, and if LeBron leaves, they will never win again. But once LeBron leaves the Cleveland Cavaliers forever, the Cleveland Cavaliers will never win another title.
Denver Nuggets will never win a title. Pacers will probably never win a title.
Pacers will never win a title.
Clippers, never win.
Never win because they're always going to compete with the LA Lakers, and the LA Lakers is a franchise people want to play for.
Memphis Grizzlies.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
Moving
on down to Grizzly.
It's a drooling Grizzly. They'll never win a title.
Memphis Grizzlies.
The Bucks will never win a title. Nope. The Timberwolves will never win a title.
There's a lot of teams in the NBA that are never going to win titles.
The Pelicans. Who I like the Raging. I like the Cajun, but anyway.
The
will
New
never
Orleans
win.
Cajuns.
I'm going to tell you a team that I think will never win one because they just can't figure it out. The Knicks.
I agree with that. I think the Knicks, the last title the Knicks won was in the 70s. Mm-hmm. That was the last title they won. This is the biggest market in sports. The last best chance they had at it is when they had Patrick Ewing.
Totally.
They didn't win titles.
Well, yeah, you're right. It was that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's like other than that, they have had bad teams. This is New York, and Carmelo Anthony is the best you could do in the last 20 years.
You know, and on our last show, you made a point of teams they should get rid of. I think every team I'm mentioning here in basketball, maybe they should go away. Well, I don't think the Oklahoma City Thunder will ever win one. I don't think the Magic will ever win one.
No.
Phoenix Suns, which is surprising. I don't think they'll win
No.
one. Portland Trail Blazers.
No.
Sacramento.
Their best chances was when they had Duckworth and Drexler and Buck Williams.
Sacramento Kings.
Will never win one.
Toronto Raptors.
Oh, the Toronto Raptors. They get so close, but their team chokes in the playoffs. They got beat 4-1 by LeBron. The LeBron and the Clumps.
They'll never win one.
They'll never win one.
You know what? And here's a team that I can almost assure you will never win one: the Utah Jazz.
No, they'll never win one because they'll lose their star free agents. But see, that's the problem with the NBA. There's so many teams in the NBA that you can look at that's like you're never going to win.
You're never going to win it.
You're never going to win it
Here's
because
what
it's like
you're
you're not LA, you're not where Houston is. I mean, San Antonio. I think once Popovich is gone in San Antonio, I don't think the San Antonio Spurs will ever win.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but I'll tell you one more: the Washington Wizards.
I don't think they'll win one either.
Never win. So basically,
see, there's only needs to be 6 teams in the NBA.
In the NBA, you really only need. Well, okay, hold on. 76ers might have a chance sometime.
Yeah, 76ers I think have a good young team. They could win. Boston,
the Heat,
good young team,
Heat
could win.
Could get a chance. The Lakers could get a chance. The Rockets. Now, the Golden State Warriors sucked forever.
But remember, they had a championship in the 70s. Then they were dead for a long time, and then they built this team amazingly well.
It took them 40 years to build this team.
It did, but they built it.
Curry goes, they're never going to win again.
I'll agree with that. If Curry, because I don't think Durant's going to stay that much longer because he seems like a nomad.
You know what? This is funny. You really only need the Celtics, the Bulls,
the Lakers, the Sixers, Rockets. You need a Texas team. You don't need the Mavericks even.
No.
I think Cuban throws a lot of money at players. He just doesn't pick he always. It's funny because Cuban seems to like to pick those old players. Remember when Dan Reeves went to the Giants? He kept taking the old Broncos with him. And it's like that rarely ever works out when you take a bunch of old players with you. It doesn't.
No, but you know what? I will say the reason I didn't put them on the list is because I think Cuban is passionate and would like to win.
Oh yeah, I think he's almost exactly like Steinbrenner. If you could guarantee him another ring, another trophy, he would throw all of his money at it.
I agree. And now I have to go to hockey.
Okay, so basketball, yeah, we glanced. We didn't give a lot of solid reasons why, but if you watch the NBA, you know those teams are never going to win another title.
No, they really aren't, and I think I don't think they ever will either, and at least
unless the rules change.
Not in the next 20 years. And the funny thing is, that only leaves like 6 teams.
6 teams.
Maybe 10.
Whatever team LeBron goes to for the next few will have a chance.
Okay, there we go.
The Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, the Boston Celtics, the Philadelphia 76ers. See, I mean, those are the teams.
And I'm looking down at my teleprompter because
I mean, think about the NFL and some of the teams that have won in the past 10, 15 years. You're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're looking at the Green Bay Packers. These are small markets, and they've won titles, and they are consistent contenders to win titles. So, even the Denver Broncos are always consistent. We're not considered a big market here in Denver, but we're always considered a contender. I don't know if it'll be this year, but I think next year we might be considered a contender.
There is one city out there that...
Oakland is not a big market, but the Raiders have been contenders before.
There is one city out there off the subject that I think that should have an NBA, or not, they do have an NBA, but should have more. They should have 4 major sports, and that's the Spurs.
San Antonio.
That city.
1.2 million people. San Antonio needs an NFL team. They need a hockey team. They need a baseball team because that is a big market.
On to hockey.
Moving on to hockey.
And as you can see, we're huge hockey fans.
I know everything about the pucks. Then that little stick they hit it with.
Yeah, that's the. I know about the Nets.
It's like there's a goalie,
Well, here's the thing.
forwards, a center.
Okay, go ahead.
You play with lines.
Name some teams you think will never win.
Okay, because he and I really disagree on this topic.
Because I think he's wrong.
Okay, so the first team I'm going to say right now is the Edmonton Oilers.
They could win one.
They won't.
They could.
The last title they won is 1990, which basically means the last title they won was with Gretzky. I don't think Gretzky's coming back.
He has a son.
I don't think he plays hockey.
I think he has a daughter.
I don't think she's good enough to play hockey.
Yes.
She might be good enough to play on there is women's hockey league.
That's clumped up.
You're clumped. But the Edmonton Oilers have not won in a long time. The Edmonton Oilers really haven't been a contender in a long time. They're not going to win. They're just not. They have a great history. They have 5 Stanley Cups. But it was all done in bunches. And they haven't been good in decades.
Maybe they were
I'm
all
sorry
done
for anybody. I know that I do have a couple of people in Canada that have watched the show before because it says it in my analytics
I
thing.
can see you being big in Canada.
No, I'm not. I'm big in Bosnia, Serbia for some reason. Or Slovenia. I don't know, but it's like, it's a weird, it's like some of my views actually come from like Eastern Europe.
I could see that.
And it's just like, I wonder why they're watching me.
Communist countries.
Yeah, it's like they're probably thinking, this guy looks like he'd be a good dictator.
Okay. Mussolini. Just saying.
Okay, so I'm going to name another team. He disagrees, but this team has not won a title since 96, I think was their last one. It's like, let me go to my teleprompter, because my teleprompter will tell me that the last title that this team won, why happened to the 90s? The 90s disappeared. Look, okay, 94. The last title they won was in 94. Let's make absolutely 100% sure that 94 was the last one. No. The New York Rangers. The New York Rangers will never win a title. The New York Rangers have been around since 1927. And in almost 100 years, 91 years, more exact.
Wow, I was going to say, oh, you're wrong there. Oh, yeah, but you're not
91
wrong.
years, they've won only 4 titles. This is at a time when there was only like 6 teams, and they only have 4 titles.
You know what?
4, and they're in New York.
The reason I'm going to argue with Randy on this is because of...
Never again.
Because of the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
You can argue that all you want. They're an expansion team. Their first year, they may win a title. The New York Rangers have been around almost 100 years. They've been around 90 years longer, and they've only won 4, and they haven't won since 94.
But that's my point.
They'll never win again.
But
Never.
my point
Never.
is, if an expansion...
Mark Messier's not walking through them doors. He's not skating through them doors. He's not skating behind that Zamboni.
If an
expansion team goes to New York, they might have a better chance
If an
of winning
expansion team can win a title, anybody could win a title.
Except for the Rangers.
Anybody.
Except for the Rangers and the Oilers.
Everybody has
Edmonton,
an equal chance.
They will never win.
But see, on hockey, I think you're so wrong.
You're wrong on me thinking that I'm wrong. You're dead wrong. You have no idea how wrong you are. I'm going to name another team, the Buffalo Sabres. Tell me the Buffalo Sabres are going to win a title. Tell me the Buffalo Sabres.
I will, and I'll tell
Name a Buffalo Sabre.
Hasek. Dominic.
He pulled that one out of his butt.
No.
Can't believe he remembered Dominic Hasek.
But I did, and I was going to tell you why I think the Buffalo Sabres could win a championship and why any NHL team can win a championship. When you get a hot goalie, anything's possible.
Name their goalie now.
Dominic Hasek Jr.
Buffalo's never winning another title.
No.
They're never winning another title.
A hot goalie can make any team good.
They don't have a hot goalie. They don't even have a good goalie, I think. They don't even... Sorry. It's like the Buffalo Sabres last year only won 25 games, and they lost 45. They were the worst team in hockey.
You know what?
Worst.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights were the worst teams in hockey last year. They didn't win a game.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights were the 5th best team this year.
But they didn't win a game last year.
The Nashville Predators were the best.
But they didn't win a game last year.
They didn't have to. They were planning how they were going to get a championship before the New York Rangers get one.
I understand that, but that's my point.
Before the Edmonton Oilers.
I gotta be honest with you. I think your argument is full of holes.
It's like I am
like
correct. The Ottawa Senators will never win a title.
Disagree.
Never.
They got a great shot. Every team in hockey.
Name an Ottawa Senator.
Okay. Oh, Caesar.
Caesar?
I think he was a senator, wasn't he?
Caesar?
Wasn't he a senator before he was the leader?
Oh my God.
Darth Vader was a senator.
Emperor Palpatine was the senator.
Is that like that Tutankhamun dude you keep talking about? Anyway.
When he was Senator Palpatine.
You just gave me things and I went with it. But I'm telling you, in hockey, I think everybody has a chance. That you can suck forever. But the expansion team has shown me that it can happen. In baseball, an expansion team will do shit. I'm going to get yelled at for that. In football, an expansion team, probably not going to do very well. Baseball. Did I say baseball?
It's like, this is the first expansion team that's ever done this. When the hockey's had its previous expansion teams, they've been bad. This is the first one that's ever done this.
But that just shows it can happen.
They're never going to win. I'm sorry to Edmonton, New York, Buffalo, and Ottawa. You'll never win a title
and I
again.
Think that you guys all have a shot.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh Penguins have won the last 2 titles. And
small market team, right there.
But the Pittsburgh Penguins have, I forgot his name. But he's good.
I'm not going to tell you his name.
Really,
I know
you
it.
don't know his name.
Mario Lemieux.
He's been retired for 15 years.
And I think he has something to do with the team. Cosby.
There you go. Sid Crosby or whatever his name.
I got one
Bing
of his
Crosby.
jerseys.
Okay,
did you just say Bing Crosby?
I did. The Chicago Blackhawks, gigantic market. LA Kings, gigantic market. Chicago Blackhawks, gigantic market.
You just said
Los
Chicago
Angeles
twice.
Kings. Yeah, because I'm going off the last ones. The last ones that have won these titles. Boston Bruins, gigantic market. Chicago Blackhawks. Then the Pittsburgh Penguins, we already established, is just a good franchise.
No,
These other franchises aren't even good franchises.
So what makes the Pittsburgh Pirates a sucky market?
The baseball players don't ever want to play. Let's face it, if it wasn't for Sid Crosby, would the Penguins even be winning these? They had Mario Lemieux, one of the best hockey players ever. They said he was going to be the next Gretzky. He was a little bit different, but he was great. So and hockey holds on to his players a little bit better.
Which is my point. Hockey, everybody has a shot.
But Buffalo has not been great in years. Buffalo has not been great in a long time. But no, it won't.
In hockey, it can happen.
We'll come back to this topic when you're 80 and I'm 60. And I guarantee
Whoa. First of all,
we'll come back to this topic.
I do hope we're going to come back to this topic when I'm 80 and you're like 70. And the thing is, you'll be buffering so bad. And I'll be wetting myself.
It's like, and you won't be sitting in that chair, I'll guarantee you that.
Why not? Oh, you're going to have that chair.
It's like, I'm not going to let you sit in that chair if you're sort of wetting yourself.
Oh. So basically, I do think in hockey, everybody has a shot.
Well, what do you think, the fans? Do you think these teams have a chance? Or do you sit there and go, I didn't know that Edmonton still had a team. Oh, why are they talking about hockey so long?
Winnipeg Jets, you'd have said they never had a shot, and they have a shot this year.
I didn't say the Winnipeg Jets. I never brought them up once.
No, but I'm saying
I like the Winnipeg
if they hadn't have got there this year, I can guarantee you we both would have said they never would have a shot. And I can tell you're thinking about that I made a really good point. Yep.
But they haven't won a title, have they? Have the Winnipeg Jets won this title?
But they're there.
They haven't won it yet, and they're not even in the championship yet.
I wonder if the New York Jets will ever win it. I said every NFL team has a shot, but they may not.
That's true. But the last Super Bowl they won was Super Bowl III. If they don't go to this year's Super Bowl, it will have been over 50 years since they won their Super Bowl. That is so long. But at least they have one. They did draft Sam Darnold. I don't know. I mean, they seem a little bit snake-bitten that they may. I still say every NFL team has a chance.
I do too, and I think every hockey team has a chance.
Because the NFL is just so big.
So different. Not every team. And in basketball, basically, if LeBron goes to your team, you have a shot. You will go to the championship. And you know what? I don't know if there's an NBA player I can ever say in history that could have done that. That's pretty amazing. I don't even know if Jordan could have done that.
It would have been interesting to see if Jordan would have went to other teams in his prime. Not, because we know he went to the Washington Wizards and whatnot after his prime. But it would have been interesting to see if he would have, let's say they won the first 3 titles, and then he retired, and then he came back with another franchise. would the franchise he would have went to won those titles? That would have been kind of cool
I
to
don't
find
know,
out.
but I've never, now that I think about it, and I always thought Jordan was the greatest ever, I think LeBron might be, because
He might.
LeBron is the only one guy that I know that takes a really crappy, clumpy bunch of people and makes them.
LeBron and the Clumpers.
And you know what? When he goes to a team with talent, I don't think they do as well.
Well, I mean, remember, the
Wow.
Heat still won titles, and they had Dwayne Wade and Bosch.
Bosch was. I don't get Bosch.
Bosch was a good third piece.
Good.
But he
Not
was still
great.
a good. No, he doesn't have to be. He didn't have to be a great. But Dwayne Wade was considered one of the top 10 NBA players when he went there with them, and
mediocre.
LeBron was considered the best.
Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, you know what? The Heat didn't have anybody. Bosch was not really. He's a sixth man on everybody else's team. Dwayne
He was a
Wade.
starter for the Raptors for his whole career.
Right there, you made my point. Toronto is a hockey town. I don't even know if they know they have a baseball team, basketball team.
They know. They actually support him pretty
and
well.
Dwayne Wade, boy, did he start to suck really fast?
It seems like he's got the Peyton Manning disease, where it's like all of a sudden he was good and then he just dropped off the table.
Yeah,
and it's too bad because when he was in his prime, he was great.
And you know what? The Miami Heat didn't have anybody else. They talk about the big three. They had nobody else.
Dwayne Wade won a title without LeBron in Miami when he had Shaq.
That's because Shaq is one of those guys
Shaq was awesome.
that maybe, like LeBron,
You don't feed the big dog's not going to guard the house.
I like that.
That
And
was his saying. I
you know
love
what?
that saying of
Shaq
his.
might have been one of those guys.
And Charles Barkley's, that's terrible.
And I don't think Kobe was. Kobe couldn't have got done.
No, he wouldn't have won those titles without Shaq those first
But
two.
I do. You know what? Shaq might have been a guy that, had he gone to any team in the NBA, would have probably had a.
Remember, the Orlando Magic had a chance, and I think it was Horace Grant that got hurt.
Yep.
Or something like that, and that's why they didn't end up
Neil
winning.
Anderson or somebody like that. Nick Anderson.
Yeah, Nick Anderson. They had Penny Hardaway. I think Penny Hardaway might have got hurt.
I love little Penny.
So it was just one of those things where, what if he would have stayed in Orlando? They might have gotten titles there, but he got titles in L.A.
He's
He
one
got
guy that
titles
could
in
have gone anywhere and
I
maybe
think,
done it.
yeah, I think Shaquille O'Neal
Maybe.
in his prime could have gone anywhere and won titles.
But-
He was just so dominant. That's why if I had any starting center of all time in his prime, I'm taking Shaquille O'Neal every time.
Me too.
And I think we did this topic a long time ago.
I don't know. We forget.
It was on your channel.
And the thing is, it doesn't matter because none of you watch. Me.
It's like, I don't know, one of our videos I think has 11 views.
Yeah, but your solo show has more.
Huh? Well, some of them, I got a lot of videos that have one view. That's me watching it to make sure it went up on the channel okay.
Oh, I've been watching some to give you two.
Well, yeah, but well, then go and look at all my shows that only have one view and go give them a second
I
view.
will. And I actually hit the like button, which I don't really like to do because it ends up on all my liked videos, and some of them aren't that good. I would like to say, before he says what he says, Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. You'll be here before Father's Day.
I know.
But you probably won't be here because it's like, hopefully your family will be doing something for you. They'll be making you cook them food.
You know, they'll ask me what I want.
And then they'll sit there and go, Sean, you should make that.
And I'll say, you know what I want for Father's Day? And I'll tell them, and they'll go, oh, yay, we'll go get him this instead.
Your family doesn't watch
What
this,
do you really
right?
want for Father's Day? What does every guy want?
Yeah, well, we're not saying that on the show.
I wasn't going to say that on the show,
So-
but even still.
To all the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.